Welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to explain about the retrofit using Android. Let's go to the video.
So first of all, what is Retrofit? Retrofit is a REST client for Android and Java by Square. It makes it easy to retrieve and upload JSON via a REST-based web service. It is a helper library or client library used in Android and Java to create an HTTP request and also to process the HTTP response from a REST API. So here today we are going to demonstrate a simple example for Retrofit and Android. So let's start our project. For that, go to File, New Project, and select the empty activity and proceed to the next button. I'm going to make a name and Retrofit example. Then click finish. So the first step is open the build.gradle, the app level Gradle. We have to wait until the Gradle sync is completed. So wait for that. You can see it here the build model is syncing. Okay, configuration successful. Then go to the Gradle script and open the build.gradle, the app level Gradle file, and here we have to insert some dependencies for the Retrofit, JSON, etc. So in the dependencies we have to insert the corresponding dependencies. You get that dependency file from the description box. I am just copying from this. Copy and paste it. Whenever you add something to the Gradle file, you must sync for the perfect performance. So only after that we have to move on. Okay, configure is successful. Then next step is go to the manifest, Android manifest.xml, and we have to declare a permission for accessing the internet. Use this permission, android.permission.internet. Okay, that's done. There are 3 APIs available in the web for testing purposes. I am using an API from the site JSON placeholder. No issue whether the content is related or not for the first example project. So I am using this one, JSON placeholder dot type icode.com/photos. This is the album ID, title, URL and thumbnail URL. This we have to go, this we are going to display it in the Android app in a list view or a recycler view, as you like. Then, so create a class that can store or represent data from the API. So create a Pojo class. For that, the Java folder, new Java class, and name it as any name. So I am going to represent the Pojo class as album or retro photo, and click OK. Then we have to declare the variables. For that, here there is album ID, title, URL, thumbnail. Only the contents that you want to display in the recycler view have to be declared in the Pojo class. So private integer album ID. So we have to use a serialized name, annotation, serialized name, album ID. The serialized name is nothing but it is the key, where the key name, album ID is the key name, and the value in the album ID where the value to the album ID. Okay, then the next serialized name ID, private integer ID, serialized name title. Private string title. Okay, that's all. You can add the others also, but I am only going to demonstrate it first, so I am only adding these three. Next, create the constructor public retro photo for the dynamic initialization. Integer album ID, integer ID, and string title. This dot album ID equal to album ID, this dot ID equal to ID, and this dot title equal to title. Then generate the get translators. For that, right click in the editor and click the generate, and from that select the get translator and select all. Then OK button. It automatically generates all the getters and setters of the variables inside the class, Pojo class. Okay, that job is done. Then the next step is to create the retrofit instance. The next step is to create a retrofit instance. So create a new class, a retrofit instance. New class, new Java class, retrofit instance. We need to create an instance using the retrofit .builder class and configure it with a base URL so that we can send network requests to a REST API. Here I am using the retrofit instance for this class and click OK. Then inside that I'm declaring a static variable private static and a retrofit instance, retrofit private static final string base URL. Here the base URL is the basic URL of our API where we will make a call. Okay, then place the base URL. Base URL means this one. Paste it. This is the base URL. Remove the slash. Okay. Next, create a method, static method, public static retrofit get retrofit instance. This will call in the main activity or the place where we want the retrofit. We call this get retrofit instance. If retrofit equals null, then retrofit equals new retrofit dot builder dot base URL. We have the base URL. Then dot add converter factory. Our data is the JSON data is converted to a Java object using this add converter factory method using the JSON converter factory dot create, then dot build. If it is not null, else else return. What is to be returned? The retrofit. Okay. Then to encode details about the parameters and request methods, we have to create an interface using special retrofit annotations. Okay, next we have to define the endpoints. For that, create an interface in the new Java class. Here kind you can change as interface name get data service and okay, click OK. So we have to use the get annotation, get, and which we have what we going to get through the base URL. It is the photos. So that's a slash photo. That is this one, the photo. And make a call that is the list of retro photo that we have to call retro photo. And the method name get all details. Okay, that's all for the get data service interface. And next we have to make a custom adapter for writing the data with the recycler view. So let's create a XML file, layout resource file, for creating the list item. So I am going to name it as list item line. I'm going to use the linear layout and click OK. Here I'm going to display only the ID, album ID and the title, or else you can only show up the album ID and the title. I'm only using that one. First of all, the text view, I am going to name it as txt ID to display the ID. And set the color as you like and the design as you like. Next is the txt title for displaying the title of the photo or the album that we have seen in the JSON placeholder dot type in icode dot etc. So again okay, the design is up to you. This is only for a sample, and set the linear layout height to wrap content, and setting the layout margin will be good. Layout margin, to set all the margin, the layout margin left, top, bottom, right equal, you can specify it in the layout margin attribute, as I am going to give 10 dp. You can see it is arranged. Okay, then go to the activity main, and here here also I am using the linear layout, orientation vertical, and inside that a recycler view or a list view. I think you like. I'm using a list view. Width match parent, height match parent. Okay, the ID will be ID retro list. Okay. Okay, this will be the simplest design. And